Me, 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 me.
Do, re, mi.
Me, 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 me. This is going to be as long as the one with Judge Howard?
Nah, we just kept going on that one, honestly. But, okay. Here we go. What is going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another episode. We got a lot to go over, a lot to discuss. I mean, we got Wreck-It Ralph doing Lampard favors. Did he give Ten Hagen a reason to not go to United? Who's to know? Arsenal bounced back to the floor. Another abysmal performance. Ruined their chances for top four. And Brighton, once again, being the culprits here. Steven Gerard, his impact is starting to slip away. Sounds oddly familiar. And the best game of the season ended in a draw. This is why Americans don't like football.
Why draws?
Ended in a draw, the best game of the season, you know? We are the Benchwarmers, the Bench with a Voice. Where the bench is always warm. I am one of your hosts. My name is Eric.
I swear to God, again.
I thought you were going to end
you're
it.
about to end it. I'm like, wait, where are we going? I just got here.
What's going on, guys? I'm Eric.
Nick.
John.
Marco.
How are you guys?
Yeah.
Better.
Did you guys know what day it is today?
No.
Pet Day?
It's National Pet Day.
All right.
We're talking
And
about
it's
it
National
abroad.
Submarine Day.
Well,
And it's National Barbershop Quartet Day.
what is that?
And it's National Cheese Fondue Day.
Barbershop.
And it's National
Barbershop?
8th Track Day.
I don't know what that is.
I
Barbershop
have no idea.
Quartet.
Track Tape Day, sorry. I have no idea
Barbershop
what all these
Quartet
days are.
Day. Do we have something prepared? No.
No,
This
I'm
is
just
four
letting
of
you
us.
guys know that this is a special day for all those days.
Oh, now I get it.
This is a special day for all of
Me,
us.
me, 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 me.
Tomorrow's a
I'm
special
bro.
day for some of us.
Oh yeah, if you're only child, I honestly I put that for you specifically for you because I knew you're an only child. So I was like, oh God, tomorrow you'll be happy. It's your day.
Yeah,
You're an only child?
I am.
Who do you celebrate it with?
Myself.
Yeah, because
Fuck
your
outta
sibling day was
here.
on Sunday, right?
Huh?
Siblings Day was on Sunday, right? Am
I have
wrong?
no idea.
I think
just-
so. Something. It was this past
Yeah,
weekend.
remember
Yeah.
I don't know.
seeing it.
So yeah, I celebrated with myself.
So
Fuck outta here.
our sibling day was on Sunday, and now he has to celebrate by himself during the week.
This is a designated day for me to be a spoiled brat.
What are you gonna do?
Absolutely not.
Be a spoiled brat, I guess.
He was
Who's gonna
solo.
spoil you?
I'll spoil myself. I don't care.
There you go. Treat yourself. Anybody listening, if there's any PSA, anything you want to take away from this episode,
Just treat yourself.
treat yourself.
Self-love is the best love.
Thank you,
Come on.
man.
Just don't spend it on cocaine or
Yes.
heroin or
yes.
Don't do drugs.
Depends which ones. But yes, for the most part, don't do drugs.
hookers or
Oh
I mean,
man.
it's a bachelor party, you know. I'm just kidding.
gambling
I'm just kidding.
addiction.
Gambling's kind of fun. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Bikes,
All those
bikes.
things in moderation. How are you guys? How's everything?
Good.
In moderation, crack cocaine.
Yeah,
Supervise.
Well, did you
Supervised.
know Coca-Cola originally had cocaine as an original recipe? You know what's crazy? I was actually talking to my Bauer parents and my brother about this the other day, and even it's a bunch of guys, Palacios including. We were just how when we were growing up, what did we see on TV? The commercials were like, "Oh, don't smoke pot, you become a couch potato. Say no to drugs, this and the other." I saw a weed commercial the other day, Ford like promoting it. I'm like, damn.
I mean, back in the day, they had cigarette commercials. Remember the cowboy with the
Oh,
with
yeah, I
the
haven't
mower-
seen one
with the
anymore. You're
mobile-
right.
They made it illegal to have.
That's
commercial like that.
right. Damn.
But back in the day, they had cigarette commercials.
forgot about
Marlboro had a lot of them.
Yo, how times have changed, bro. How
I mean, I
times
also
have
don't
changed.
watch commercials anymore. I specifically pay for that to get the commercials
Yeah.
or ads. But I haven't seen a Coke commercial in a while, and I used to love the Coca-Cola ones with the Christmas season.
Oh,
with
with the bears,
polar
the polar
bears.
bears.
I used to love those.
Oh, they'll still come out.
I
They'll
mean,
still come out.
I'll
Yeah, they still
Google
have-
them.
the
I
Coke-
might as
they-
well just looking for them on YouTube.
They still have a
because
lot
that's the only
because
place
now
I'll
their
find
whole thing is share a Coke with whoever. So there's a lot
Kane?
of them. Yes, share a Coke with Kane.
All right, so this is the wrong kind of podcast. We're not talking about soccer today. We're talking about
Start over.
illegal thing.
Memes.
I'm just kidding. No, we're not gonna do that. This is not that kind of podcast. We are a footy podcast, and I think it's only right that we kind of get into it now. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
I mean, I kind of don't want to get into it. I
Me
kinda wanna
either.
push it up. I know
Yeah.
we're both
I
on the
mean,
same
yeah.
boat, right? All three of us on the same boat right now. Even Marco even wore
Make sure
a
that
different league jersey just to see that he's not ready for today's conversation. I feel you on that, bro. I feel you on that. Nick, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Nick is ready. I feel his confidence. I feel his.
I think Dick should kick it off then.
All right, Nick, you ready to kick it off? Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna start with Everton Football Club won.
Damn,
Manchester
go straight
United.
at you,
Damn.
bro. Damn, that is crazy. My man missed nothing. He said we're going straight to Everton. Fuck you, guy. Let's talk about it.
I mean, Nick, what questions do you have from this? Because I really haven't heard your questions as a rival fan, especially seeing this abysmal season for United so far.
No questions, man. They're just shit.
We're just bad.
There's
It's
no
No,
question. They're just
no
shit.
questions. Players are shit. Stadium shit. Managers shit.
The stadium is shit.
Yeah,
It is. It literally is. There's a leak in the roof. If you ask United fans who actually go to games, there's leaks in the roof. So then when it rains, it starts fucking pouring down on the fans. It's like Old Trafford's very outdated, but yeah, Man United, funny football club, man.
it's crazy.
We're here for your entertainment, so you're welcome.
It's crazy that a team that's so as big as United, when they lose to Everton, the biggest takeaway from the game is Ronaldo smacking the shit out of a fan's hand and breaking his phone, and now getting into big trouble.
He showed
potentially
more.
lost.
He showed more doing that than actually on the pitch.
I remember my notes.
How
thank
is
you.
he gonna?
I wanted to take that away from before you got a chance to troll it.
How is he gonna invite the fan if the fan doesn't have a phone? Like, how is he gonna? How is he gonna
And now-
receive?
and he was a-
invite?
That was an Everton fan, no less. That
I
was
think
an
he
Everton.
was right.
What the hell's an Everton fan?
Yeah, but
Want to do it
Everton
Old
fans
Trafford?
like Man United. You know?
Oh, did he? That I didn't know.
I think I saw some pictures of the bruised hand. So I mean,
But that just goes to shows that pretty much sums up our season so far. In a
that's
nutshell.
crazy. But I mean, it's Ronaldo. A figure that big for him to do something so idiotic like that, especially to a fan who isn't even a part of your club.
Exactly.
And it doesn't
I'd do it.
surprise me either at the end of the day.
It
doesn't surprise me.
Really?
No, it's
Wait,
fucking Ronaldo.
Does
It's-
it
he just-
surprise a player?
It doesn't surprise me that he would do that because he just the way he is. It doesn't surprise me after that frustrating game. It's
I think any
disagree.
player would do it at the heat of the moment.
I'd smack a
doubt-
phone
I
out
don't-
of
I
a.
don't agree with
I mean,
that.
I'm not smacking the person. I'm smacking the phone.
Like, all right, you know
I
what?
mean, that's-
Smack the person.
I mean,
You know, I
there's
understand,
collateral,
you know.
collateral damage.
his hand shouldn't have been there. He was going for the phone.
He
Hand
was
should
going
have
for
been
the, he saw the phone. He was like, and then the person's very sensitive that he got a bruise now. I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
He
bro.
said the person said it, or Ronaldo said
I think
it?
maybe there's a-
Oh, I mean,
Maybe there's a skin condition the guy breathes easily. I don't know.
So are you justifying?
yeah, you
assault?
justifying it?
You
That's what
justifying
I'm
assault?
violence is not the answer.
I mean, we
to
just
that
got
thing.
past the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation,
That's
and now
completely
Ronaldo's
different.
smacking somebody else.
That's we're talking
It's
about
not
tech
different.
versus.
It's not-
How's it different? He smacked
I
them.
mean, there's one slap that's on live television for the world. Actually, both.
They're both on live television for the world to see.
Fuck,
Well,
is
actually,
y'all
one's on
not
the
though?
internet. Same thing.
You should be banned from APL for 10 years.
Yeah, ban Ronaldo.
Ban Ronaldo. Yeah, hashtag ban Ronaldo.
Ronaldo out, Nunez in.
Nah.
No?
Chill.
You
70
want him?
mil, bro.
There's room.
Looking steep.
I
70 mil,
mean,
bro. 70 mil. I'm stay far away, bro. He's a good player, but 70 mil. You know what I mean? You know, I'm looking at
in the
Ivan
over
Toney, right? 40 mil.
for who?
Ivan Toney, 40 mil.
I actually have some questions on Ivan Toney later, but we'll talk about the Darwin Nunez thing later throughout the season, because there's big rumors of him either going to United or Arsenal. He's having a great season so far. So Darwin Nunez, who plays for Benfica, I think he's competing with Mbappe right now for goals and overall. So he's doing pretty good. Let us know what you think about him. If you watched him play, if you're a Benfica fan, if you're a Uruguay fan, what's your expectations for him? Where do you expect to see him go? But yeah, United have a lot to do this coming up window. Well, I mean, I think I've asked you before. I'm gonna ask it again. Can Ten Hag fix this? And is he going to have the time or the support from the club?
I think he can, and I think it was either released today or yesterday that one of the things he's asking for is to be supported. So as long as the board can pretty much give him what he wants, we should be okay. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time, but I think he definitely can. I mean, we see what he's doing at Ajax. He joined Ajax in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. None of us started talking about Ajax until their run in 2019 in Champions League. It took him 2 years to get there. So as long as the board gets him what he wants, he's going to need the time. He's going to need the support. He wants to be involved in player recruitment, incomings, outgoings. He wants to be involved. Of course, with any new manager, he's going to come in. He's going to bring in, his own staff. Apparently, he wants to bring in his current assistant. He wants to bring in some other former manager. He wants to bring in Van Persie. So there's stuff that he wants to do.
Oh God, I hope it goes horrible for him.
As long as he gets the support, and as long as he gets the support, and we get an official statement that he's coming on board in the summer, it's he can do it.
The most unfortunate thing for him though is it's all good and well. You guys mentioned will he at the time? Well, unfortunately for him, he's joining arguably the club with the most toxic fan base in the world.
I'd say right now.
Yeah, right now, where the fan base gets divided on managers, on players, on fan culture. So, will he get the time? Because, like, realistically, like, let's say he does join this summer. I don't think he'll be successful next season.
No, definitely not. It's going to take time.
Right, exactly. So, United fans, are they going to give him that time? Like, I don't know. Like I said, most toxic fan base in the world.
That's the part that
Like,
frustrates me because I agree with that. I don't think the fans, for the most part, they won't because of the culture that is surrounding United. And we're at a point where we can't turn into a revolving door. So we need someone at some point that is going to be there for the long term. And the only way that happens is by giving somebody time. So we'll see what happens.
and the only long-term manager we really had, so I guess let's say 4 years or whatever. Really, it's Sir Alex Ferguson. Mourinho was there, 2.5, 3 years, and you saw how divided the fan base became. Louis Van Gaal as well, David Moyes for his short stint. So, like you said, a long-term project. If it does turn out to be successful, it'll be one hell of a road with like a roller coaster, just ups and downs. Like United will probably lose like 2 games on the bounce, and you'll see the fans calling for his head already.
Absolutely.
10 games into the season, right? So yeah, it's if he does join, it's not going to look pretty.
And that's what brings me back to, I know a couple episodes ago I said that the fans are still living in the glory days. That has to stop. Otherwise, things are not going to get better if that's how they're going to continue being
So there has to be a reset in mentality
everywhere.
of where the club is currently at in the state of their development or wherever they are in their project that whatever you want to consider right now. So the fans, along with the board, have to have a change of mentality.
Yeah, everywhere.
In order to see at least unison and the board, the fans all be behind one project. Like Nick said, I mean, as an Arsenal fan speaking, trust me, I know very well how it feels having a split fan base. I don't see that happening. I'm already seeing the Mikel Arteta out brigade after everybody was saying he's like the next big thing, and we were just chanting his name.
Lee Gunner?
He's the well, Lee Gunner celebrates our losses. He's been celebrating our losses since like Arsene Wenger days.
Every time Arsenal lose, like Mikel Arteta. Like,
Did you his interview? I've watched his interview with other, and he'll never watch this, but if he does, I just hope he does because he is literally the worst interviewer. My man is on his phone talking to people, says the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, and he's one of those fans that you're mentioning that live in the past, that can't accept the fact that we're not in the same situation. Of course, he blames the board and all that, which again is similar with you guys, but I just don't see the fans right now, after all the money that was invested into this club, getting behind a new project. Especially, this is supposed to be the season you were challenging for titles. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't see it going very well. I hope Van Persie just makes it even worse. But Marco, do you have any high expectations for this?
None whatsoever. I really don't. I wish I had more, but there's nothing for me at all. I mean, it sucks. I'm not a fan, but honestly, I just want to see them crumble. Because why not? It's already happening. Might as well go all the way down and then start rebuilding. So crumble. Let it crumble like Chelsea did, but because the players didn't want to do it, want to continue playing for the one coach. But crumble in a way that you know that the only outcome at the end is rebuilding and knowing that it's gonna take time, and that
I think everybody understands.
Yeah,
I think everybody.
But I mean, do they?
Oh, he understands it.
No. Well, do they? Meaning the fans.
No, that they
The out there fans. Because remember, you and I, we've always had this conversation about us as fans versus them as fans.
Of course, different fans. Yeah.
And they're completely different fans. So as long as the fans out there understand that it's gonna take time and they have to back somebody, because if not, then they're screwed. There's nothing they're gonna be able to do.
A lot to come from this. Apparently he's it's favored to be Ten Hag. I'm more curious to see what business is done this window. After seeing the Bruno extension, I'm curious to see if they're gonna give Ten Hag the players he wants, or they're gonna go for the players that they want that give them more sales. So we'll see. A lot to come, but I think it's only fair if we're gonna talk about that game. We talk about Arsenal as well and our downfall so fast.
You guys got a new left back
There's
now, right?
Huh?
You guys got a new left back?
Dude, I blame this.
Can I mean, Eric,
What's up?
It is frustrating to watch that Arsenal,
Yeah.
but I also see that we weren't, in my opinion, one of the worst lineups we can put out, in the sense of having Xhaka as a left back. We know they can't do the job. I know that we are screwed right now. Tierney is out for the rest of the season, but we have at least somebody there, or we could figure something else out. Maybe play like as you and I discussed in the segment before the game started, a 3-in-a-back system, pushing maybe Saka to the left, maybe continue using Cedric on the right, or even Pepe, and then putting a strong line of 3. But
Wait, did you say Pepe at wing back?
yeah, he pushes back.
Did you say Pepe
on the
at
right
wing
yeah,
back?
Why not?
Did you hear that?
I mean, it's me. That's my opinion. I mean, I said Cedric first, and then I said, I don't know, maybe Pepe.
But the guy who doesn't defend.
I mean, in my opinion, he make the effort at least.
Okay, I think we watched different games, but okay.
I mean, I'm saying
He's living in the past.
I'm living in the past. I mean, no, look. I mean, I'm just pointing out what I didn't like. I'm just giving
there's a lot of
ideas.
things I didn't like. 100%.
I always wanted to see how it would look. Hopefully in the future with the Smith Rowe and Odegaard playing together. Sometimes I just feel like it can't happen unless he's playing on the left wing, and then Martinez is not in the game. I mean, I feel like this game specifically had a lot of changes in the lineup that at the end of the day ended up affecting us a lot.
So that's where I think where the problem is. I think we can kind of if we look at what caused everything to go wrong this game, I think it was 100% the selection by Arteta. The fact that, and I don't mind Xhaka playing left back. I know it's not the best thing in the world, but what bothered me is that you lose. If you would have put Xhaka at left back with Partey still being there, I'm okay with that.
That's different.
Exactly.
The thing is that we got used to one lineup, and we can't do anything else out of that.
It's not. No. I disagree with that. What I'm saying is that when you lose Partey to injury, which we did, and then you take out Xhaka out of the midfield, you're completely changing the midfield around. I'm not saying I'll put Xhaka at left back and then we're okay with something. No, I'm saying keep Xhaka in the midfield where he's been doing pretty well, because what you saw once the switch happened where he got pushed up to the midfield, we started progressing the ball a lot more effectively. Yeah, he's not a game changer, but he does bring that aspect to the game where we can facilitate the ball through him a lot faster. He's that extra person to give the ball along. When you take him out of the midfield, you're putting. So we went from Xhaka left back, the two center backs, Gabi and Ben White, and then Cedric on the right. You had Odegaard and Sambi playing the double pivot role. Players, one who hasn't been playing barely since the first 2-3 games because Partey's been good ever since. And Odegaard, who's been playing the cam role the entire past couple of games. The reason why I don't think it worked is because, again, Odegaard was playing that double pivot. Emile Smith-Rowe was playing more advanced. I want to see Odegaard and Emile Smith-Rowe both advanced, and then Partey as the main guy. That's not what we had. We had a brand new midfield, brand new pivots who haven't done it, a left back who isn't really a left back. To me, I thought they got this completely wrong. The issue I'm seeing with him is his confidence in players is really affecting his team selection. You got to play Nuno in that situation.
I'd agree.
I don't care how bad he looked at the previous game. You can't change every facet of the game. You can't change the offense. You change the offense because you took Odegaard out of that main creating role in your job. You pulled him even further back. You took out Xhaka, who was already in that midfield role as a good pivot, as a good facilitator. Not the best, but okay, good. He could do it. You took him out and you put him at left back. Now you changed the defense and the offense. He's got to I don't know. I don't know why he continues to exile players, freeze them out. It's really bothering me.
He didn't have to change the whole lineup. He just had to change the system and how it worked. Because I mean, yes, Nuno is not your best left back. So if that's the case, okay, leave Xhaka in the middle and say, you know what, we're gonna play out this way, the opposite way instead. Let's avoid the left side as much as we can.
To your point, you put Nuno at left back, keep Xhaka in the middle along with Sambi. You still keep the same idea of the way you want to play. Different players, of course, but it's still the same idea, it's still the same philosophy. It's just the fact that he took out. I don't know, man. It's really bothering me. These injuries are fucking us, and the winter transfer window is definitely coming to haunt us now by not signing backup players.
Would you mentioned exiling players, and this is kind of the opposite with Lacazette. Would you kind of pin him on keeping faith in Lacazette?
So I said, I don't know if I said it in the chat, but I said I think Lacazette is starting to burn out. I think that high intensity that we got out of him, that good run of games that we had, it was great, and I'm completely appreciative of everything he's done for the club. But I think that level is very hard to sustain when, one, you're not getting called up for your national team. Two, you don't have a contract next season right now. You're playing for one. Three, you're playing with kids. You're not competing really for anything. So it's I'm not surprised that the intensity that he had has started to drop off. It's fallen off very hard to the extent that I'm ready to say, all right, put Eddie in, because dude, this is a game we had to bounce back. Had to. Just came up short, and it would, dude. I said last time, I never turned the game off early before. I turned off this game as soon as I'm going in, I left at the house. Went to Home Depot, started doing chores. I can't watch it.
I turned off my phone. I closed the app, basically. Once the second goal went in, I couldn't do it anymore. I said, fuck it.
Yeah, Brian are completely killing our top four hopes. Killed our top four hopes, in my opinion. But
I think there's still a chance, but the stars have to align perfectly for it to happen. I still think that we can do it. It's just that we can't.
We made it hard for ourselves.
Yeah,
we did the Arsenal way.
I mean, there's no other way.
There's no other way to do the Arsenal way, but
fight until the end.
You guys got a tough run coming up.
Yeah, we have to beat
Southampton, United,
Chelsea,
Spurs, Everton.
Yeah, and we have to beat Chelsea and Spurs to be able to take away
United.
those points.
West Ham is in there too, also fighting.
West Ham. We gotta be everybody. We can't afford to lose anything at this point of the game. Is too late, especially the way Spurs are playing right now. It's crazy, but yeah, to me, this game. I'm still backing him. I'm not at that whatsoever, but I pinned this game on him. It kind of gives me that. It kind of gave me that. I hate to say that Unai Emery feeling when we knocked out of top four that very last day against Brighton. It kind of gave me that feeling, and it hurt because I really expected a lot more, especially from a home game from these guys, and they weren't to the races at all. But I put it on that for getting the team selection wrong. That's.
I've seen a couple Arsenal fans on social media say that when, and we'll move on to them later on, Tottenham and obviously likes of Son and Kane, they're overperforming their XG, and they're some of the best finishers in the world, ball strikers. But I feel like, yes, I agree to that point where obviously you have Lacazette and Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli, phenomenal young players. Lacazette. But then you're obviously comparing that to Son and Kane. But also, I think if you look at the overall system / structure that Arteta has been able to implement this season, I think it's been a tad bit better than Antonio Conte's. So I wouldn't say, if I'm an Arsenal fan, it's just because Son and Kane are able to just finish every single half chance they get. You know what I mean? I'm not going to pin that on Son and Kane just because, we're out of the top four because look at Tottenham's top three of Kulusevski's Son and Kane. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because if I'm comparing Tottenham and Arsenal, like I just mentioned, the structure and system, if I'm looking at the overall as a past year, I'd say Arteta has definitely uppered or leveled up, not leveled up, but has been better than Antonio Conte's. Although Conte has improved these past couple game weeks, but yeah, the
Implementing his ideas.
right,
the style of
exactly.
play.
Like for example, Antonio Conte, like with Emerson or Matt Doherty, who just got injured, like he's been I guess since the New Year, he's been kind of turning water into wine, with these players and whatnot. Obviously, Eric Dyer in the back, Sergio Reguilon, Bentancur and whatnot. But yeah, it's an interesting kind of comparison. And,
Yeah. So to me, Conte is still there for the short term. I don't think he's gonna be there after maybe next season, the season after that. Maybe that's it for him.
I mean, yeah, there's links of him to PSG.
So the way Conte, to me, when you bring Conte in, you're not starting a project from ground zero. You're kind of like, all right, you know what? We're here. We have to get to this point, to get us into Champions League, get us a trophy, get us into FA Cup final or something. So that to me is a Conte appointment. To me, that the appointment was the long term, the long play where this is the way the culture, this is the way we're gonna play going forward. Conte is more like, we're gonna do this because this is gonna results now. 2-3 years from now, he's not gonna be there. Let's do it all over again. I think it's more the Chelsea route that they're going. You know, just get a top manager, get some good players in, Kulusevski, which is one of them, and he's doing good. So I mean, I don't know. I'm nervous to see where this top 4 race goes and if it's gonna go down to the wire against Spurs at their home.
I think it will. I don't
think
think
it will.
it's over for Arsenal yet, just yet. I like Antonio Conte. I rate him as a manager, but I just feel like they have a couple players who have the bozo gene, and at some point turn that bozo gene on in the likes of Eric Dyer or Reguilon or Emerson Royale or Matt Doherty. Not Doherty anymore, but yeah, it's not over. It's not over. All depends on this Chelsea game next week for Arsenal.
Yeah, I will definitely talk more about that on Wednesday. But let's move on to the next game real quick. Jesse Marsh making a positive impact on Leeds, winning 3-0 for against Watford. Another win under his resume, under his belt. Sorry, I think he's 9 points clear now from the relegation, if I'm mistaken.
Yep.
So good for them. Good for them. Everton, how far are they from relegation?
4.
4 points. Okay, and that's with the win over United. So they're still fighting for their lives. I mean, that could have gone, to explain why they beat you guys. They're fighting for their lives.
Oh yeah, they definitely wanted it. We didn't want anything. That's pretty much it.
Quickly just mention Southampton. They don't always lose, but when they lose 6-0 against Chelsea. So, I mean, Havertz continues to improve. Had a brace. Timo Werner had a brace of posts as well. This is the kind of bounce back of response you want to see a team have after a poor performance. And they brought it 6-0 against Southampton. Anything to take away from that performance? I mean, no Lukaku. I think he's injured or something, if I'm mistaken.
I don't know if he's injured, but yeah, he didn't travel to Spain today. So
he's out, right?
Yeah, I think he's going back to Inter.
Damn. So wait. You're telling me that Chelsea paid $100 million for him to go to Chelsea just to send him back for probably half the price they paid for him?
Yep. Look, Marina, their sporting director. At the time, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, he's been a fantastic sign. But Timo Werner, other couple signings, absolute horror show from her. But after they lost to Madrid before the Southampton game, they need a lot of new players, man. Like I heard Josh Howard on the other episode. He was talking about players who could leave, but like players who can come in. Like I think they need a lot of players. Like first of all, a center back. Obviously Josh Howard, Thiago Silva, Andreas Christensen, and Spilicueta. I think N'Golo Kante has been pretty not the best this season, especially these last couple weeks. And their attack, obviously, Kai Havertz. So keep him at center forward. But if they can find one. Definitely a 1v1 specialist winger who can actually provide goals. I'm looking at Rafinha or even Harvey Barnes at Leicester. He looks pretty good. I watched him against United a couple weeks ago. Mahrez as well. A lot of players. They need I'd say center back, center mid. I think they have the Conte replacement, N'Golo Conte replacement Conor Gallagher.
I would agree with that.
He's definitely not a Kovacic replacement just because he's not as good technically as Mateo Kovacic, but in terms of just destroying and disrupting play. He's the N'Golo Kante replacement. But yeah, they need a goal scoring winger, and they need it fast if they want to challenge next year. Because if we're relying on Kai Havertz, who's a decent, he's a good goal scorer, but he's not going to score 20 league goals a season, which I think he has a potential to, but he doesn't fit me. He doesn't look at me as a profile who's going to score 20 or 25 league goals every season. So they're definitely going to need a winger that's not the likes of a creator like Hakeem Ziyech or runners like Christian Pulisic or Hudson Odoi, who are pretty decent players, but in modern age football, you need goal scoring wingers. You know, you look at Liverpool, you look at Bayern with Kingsley Coman, Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Sadio Mane, Salah, Mahrez, Raheem Sterling. Even at Barcelona, Ansu Fati, Ousmane Dembele,
holy shit,
and whatnot. So modern age football, it's not just about having creator wingers of who can just lump the ball forward and put crosses into your center forward and whatnot. You know, you kind of need like you need a creator, you need a finisher, and maybe another finisher.
I mean that's credit
or a runner.
to Pep though. Like I said it yesterday during the game. I think he's changed the. I didn't appreciate what he's done for the game, but looking at what he's done at Man City, at Barcelona, Bayern, he's changed the game in so many ways, making outbacks both offensively and defensive threats, strikers to drop in deep and create, goalkeepers playing with their feet, center backs playing with their feet. He's really pushed the envelope and changing the way that every position is played. And yeah, Chelsea need to have more of those kind of players.
And they've had goal scoring threats from out wide and obviously in Pulisic, but his injury issues, Hudson Odoi and the creator. But yeah, they need a. If I'm a sporting director, I'll look at a center back, but another goal scoring winger who can actually chip in and help Kai Havertz for next season.
Well, we'll see what happens with them this with the takeover. I believe the NBA chairman has joined the consortium. I believe I said that word right, to take over Chelsea. So, still, I think this week there's supposed to be some new breakthroughs. We'll keep our eyes open for that. See if Chelsea are still named Chelsea or are they gonna be called London Blues FC? Who knows? More to come from that. But yeah, Southampton 0, Chelsea 6. Great bounce back for them. Steven Gerard couldn't buy a goal if he wanted to in that first half. Did you guys watch that game or no?
Yeah, I did.
How did they not score a goal? I do not know.
Tottenham were pretty poor that first half.
They won 4-0.
Exactly.
Yeah, Hugo Lloris definitely bailed them out.
I see a couple Spurs fans saying they should keep him. Not move, man.
I agree.
Not move. He's too old. He's also not a very good goalkeeper. But yeah, no, that first half for Tottenham was pretty rough for them. I thought they weren't really able to like track Coutinho because he was really the one kind of getting on the ball and creating. But yeah, just like it's weird. I mentioned it a couple episodes ago. They just have no outlet, or really just and no way of playing out wide. So they're fullbacks of Lucas Digne. He's not really he's a wingback or he's a fullback who will get up the ball and more of the half space and put a cross in. Right, he's not gonna go bombing overlapping runs like maybe like an Andy Robertson. Also, Matty Cash. He's the one out of Lucas Digne and Matty Cash. He's the one who can actually make overlapping runs or underlapping runs. And then you have no width up top when you're playing Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins. And then you have in the 10 you have Felipe Coutinho. So that means you basically only have one threat out wide to really provide some width in Matty Cash. So you're just playing too narrow. It's like playing, the diamond that we play on pro clubs, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's pro clubs easy to play out wide, but if you kind of think about it like that, there's no width. You know what I mean? There's no width.
You can't trust the play out.
Right.
And if you look at the Man City Liverpool game, those players that hold the width are the ones that can stretch out the players and create the gaps. So Aston Villa, with that formation, they were still causing threats. They were still getting in, but they just couldn't fucking score that first half.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Humane Son, though, man. I believe he had a hat-trick this game, if I'm not mistaken. 17 league goals. I believe all non-penalty as well. I think he's beating Salah right now in non-penalty goals. Could he actually make a good push for the Golden Boot this season?
He could. If Salah's form continues, he was a little bit tied better in the second half against City. We got more in his playmaking / creating back. But if Salah does continue on his form post AFCON, where it's just like he's trying to take on too many players and not really find those spaces that he's probably one of the best in the world at doing, I can easily see Heung-min Son because just the way Tottenham Kulusevski creating, yeah, what does he have, like fucking 5-6 assists? Well, it's not obviously you're not just looking at assists, but obviously you have one of the best number 9s, probably the best number 9 in the world at dropping deep and creating for your other wingers. So yeah, Heung-min Son. If I'm PSG and I see Kylian Mbappe leaving, I'm putting 50 mil down, 60 mil down for Heung-min Son. Dude, I like he's a fucking incredible player. Like if you put him like same thing with like what I said with Kane. Like if you put him at like Bayern, bro, he's putting up like fucking he's putting up numbers that like aren't even like you can't even put on a computer, bro. Like if you put Heung-min Son at PSG, Bayern,
He fits anywhere.
Liverpool, like dude, he's putting up numbers that you can't even calculate on a fucking calculator, bro. He's a ridiculous
I don't see
player.
him leaving though, unfortunately.
I don't see him leaving either. The guy signed like a 5-year contract for some
He's
reason.
happy.
He has some crazy loyalty to Tottenham.
Don't know why.
The fans love him. Yeah, I mean the fans love him. But yeah, if I'm him, which I doubt he'll do, I'm looking at fucking PSG or Bayern, and I'm fucking
I mean,
scoring
he's
50
going
goals.
up there in age, so
How old is
he's
he right now?
29.
28? Oh, 29.
So this could potentially
When did
be
he
his
sign
one
that
of like
contract?
last chances.
It was 2 years ago.
So
Yeah,
If-
it was a
if-
long.
He can still be sold for like good money right now.
if he were to go, it had to be this window or next window, and that'd be his last contract, 100%. But at that point, he's kind of old already.
I saw this tweet. Is Heung-min Son the best Asian player of all time?
Asian player. I mean,
So you have Jisung Park, Kagawa,
Honda.
I'd say the two is definitely Jisung Park, Man United, right?
No,
I would have him number 1, Heung-min Son.
Nah, Tamiyasu.
He's in Japan. Guy's been injured for fucking 5. Wait, what's even going on with him? Like, is he like?
I don't know, man. Don't talk about it, man. I'm hurting. Nah, yeah.
I would have to agree with Nick.
Yeah.
I would
I
have
think
to
if you
agree.
say Jisung Park, I think it's probably because
We're
you know,
nostalgic.
trophies, yeah, the nostalgic, locking up.
And when he came, he was United.
Yeah.
It was a big thing at the time, you
Yeah.
know? That's not to say it's not a big thing now, but no, Heung-min Son,
Yeah.
what he's been able to do at international level too. I don't have this card right now. At international level too, yeah. It's I would agree with that.
The guy won like South Korea a cup to not go to the fucking army. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy clutchness. Talk about like scoring Champions League final goals, but you know, saving pretty much like not going to army training and you fucking winning your country title. But he's
It's crazy
fake.
how good he is with both of his feet. Every time I watch him, I always forget which one is a strong foot. Because even this past game, he scored one with his left, two with his right. It's hard to determine which one's a stronger foot because he's so good at both of them.
Do you guys think that if he was at a different club, like let's say a Liverpool, a Man City, a Real Madrid, Barcelona, he'd probably get a lot more credit than he's given now? Not saying he's not given the credit he deserves, but do you think he's better than the way he's spoken about?
I think based off of any other club, you could have gotten a little more trophies. Well, any other trophy.
Yeah, of course.
I think the fact that
as any Spurs player.
Yeah, but specifically him, I feel like with trophies comes more spotlight.
Okay.
On the players, and he has it because he's a phenomenal player. He's one of the best, in my opinion. But he's in a trophyless team, so he has a cap in the sense of his viewing. If he was in any other team, I think he would be more renowned.
He has the Audi Cup.
Yeah. What is that?
Exactly.
It's his legacy.
I mean, he has whatever trophy he won for his country, but aside from that, he's never won anything for Spurs.
Yeah, just same exact thing with Kane. Their legacy, as much as they're phenomenal players, and I think you can use them in debates where, you know, obviously, for example, like Kane versus Rooney. I'd say like Rooney is probably the better player, but it's definitely close. If you just look at players, but yeah, their legacies. Like I'm not gonna say Harry Kane has more of a legacy, than Wayne Rooney, because I think that Harry Kane's a better player. Like at one point, like those two legacies are limited.
And this is not the basis of this conversation right now. But this we're kind of going to Harry Kane real quick. I just have just a what if question. What if England go on and win the World Cup? Who has a better legacy, Rooney or Kane?
Oh wow!
Is footballing legacy?
Football and legacy, yeah. Obviously, if you say England, Kane, because he won a World Cup. But if you say just footballing in general, you're talking about club, and country at this point. So who would you say has a bigger legacy?
I think Rooney still has it.
I'd agree. Wayne Rooney
Yeah.
still. Yeah, he left a pretty big impact on football. Came onto the scene at 16 with
16.
Everton. Was on like 3 FIFA cover titles.
Yeah.
Was really the first English player to really have tech like that. Not first, but like obviously had Beckham, Joe Cole, but like yeah.
Players like Rooney and I'm thinking about those United days, and I'm going further back like Carlos Tevez. It's so easy to love those players, and I'm not saying I love them, but I could see why you could love them because you don't see strikers nowadays. I mean, now you do, but you didn't see strikers back in the day tracking back 40, 50 yards for a ball they lost and actually win it back and transition to the attack. So yeah, I can see why those players are more memorable, have more of a legacy. I would say Harry Kane is definitely up there, but yeah, no trophies, no accolades to go along with it, so he can only go so far. He's just stats at this point.
I mean, yeah, I think Harry Kane would be known as that
Russell
phenomenal
Westbrook?
player
Oh.
that could never do anything. They were able to win anything.
Like Russell Westbrook? Oh, okay.
His legacy will still be like very top.
No,
because-
he'll be like one of those like, damn, what if he could have?
yeah, because
Like
what
Tracy
if he
McGrady.
was? Yeah, exactly.
he'll break the
Exactly, 100% on every single one that you mentioned.
he'll
Like
break.
Carmelo Anthony.
I respect Carmelo, bro.
Oh, what the hell has he
do?
done?
I don't know. Change.
Nothing.
Put New York on the map. I don't know.
Burn. The basketball podcast is welcome.
But
I'm
yeah,
like,
no.
every single name you wait.
Harry Kane, he'll beat Alan Shearer's record, and he'll beat Wayne Rooney's record at England. So he'll become top goal scorer of both of those. So his legacy it'll be up there, but like Marco said, it'll just be the what if. But still an incredible player who is, you guys know how much I rate him.
Yeah, no. I mean, I would love to have Harry Kane on my team, but what are you guys going with the top 3 for Spurs? KKS. I mean, you gotta be very careful how you say that. KKS.
I've seen some crazy slander rain for Kulusevski.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you should definitely ask Get what you say in the garage.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so
SKK, just because how they line up.
KKS, SKK, or KSK. So, what are you guys feeling on that?
I think
First
Everything
of all,
else sound
Gav,
No.
yeah, say what
No,
you
no.
said.
Oh,
Say what you said.
That's it.
Say what you said because
wasn't-
we have to. The fact that you said it and you put it out there is like we have to get it on recording.
It was more of a hypothetical question.
It was more of a.
It was more of a
you
what
thinking about,
if.
okay?
What,
more of
it
a
was-
brain fart.
Okay, whatever. Next topic.
No.
Ask
Ask
the
the question.
have
Ask
to
the
say it.
question.
You're
So-
not escaping, bro.
Okay, fine. Whatever. I'll take the heat. Delusional, whatever the hell you want to call it. Anyway,
All of the
so
above.
Son, Kane, and Kulusevski, they are on a tear right now. They're doing really good. So my hypothetical question was, do you think that they can be up there with MSN?
Can they
The
can they win a
hypotheticals
Champions
was-
League?
Huh?
Can they win a Champions League?
Can they win a treble?
Can they win a trophy?
That's why it was a hypothetical question. I said, can they? Not right now, but
I think it was more of a rhetorical question that you knew the answer to. You just wanted us
You
to be
just
completely
blurred it,
for you.
yeah.
I just wanted to see what you guys thought.
And you knew exactly what we thought.
What,
But it was a
what do you
hypothetical
guys think?
question.
Do you guys think KS can reach the levels of MSN? I'm dying to see the comments.
on half a
of this
season,
right now.
on half a season, compare them to
I'm dying to see
everything
the
they
comments
did
on this
with
part.
just half a season that they
I'm
were
sorry, yo, Nick.
By the way, MSN scored 122 goals in one season. That's more than fucking football
Well, I
clubs.
know, but it's
So
just
please let
starting
us know
now.
what you think about that.
We'll see what
about
happens
that
next season.
hypothetical question.
If the 3 of them are there next season together,
No,
we'll
how
see.
insane that is. 122
Messi,
goals.
Neymar, and Suarez compared to Kulusevski, Son. I'm not saying they're bad players, but I mean you're
I
comparing.
said it was a hypothetical. I said, can they in the future? Not right now.
All right, so please answer that. I mean, I feel like we answered the question with the way we're reacting right now, but let us know what you think. Can this be?
Should this even be brought up?
Should this even be a
Marco,
conversation point?
can they surpass BBC?
Yes.
What?
Kidding.
Oh my god, yeah, I was about to say this is over. I'm done. With this.
What? Bro, come on. You know that.
I just like I'm a ginger.
That's the easiest no in the world, but of course I was gonna say
Oh
yes,
my God.
just to see your reactions, and I got
It
it.
honestly
bro.
wasn't even BBC. It was that trio was like for 1 year. It was pretty much Benzema, Ronaldo, Isco.
Only one. See, Isco did good for like 2 seasons, and then he just dropped off.
Yeah, what happened to him, bro?
That's the $1 million question, my
So
guy.
many those players that like you could tell they do. Oh,
They could've.
he's good. They could have been like great, but just never found it. Usually happens to like the clubs like Real Madrid, United, where they just kind of fade out. Kind of crazy, right? To think about. Romero proving his worth for Spurs. I mean, Spurs looking good, man. They're I think in pole position for top 4 right now. Still a lot to go until the end of the season, but they have probably the most favorable lineups coming up. But again, all to play for. It's not over yet. But Spurs won that game 4-0.
All right, I want to ask you guys this question about Tottenham. I'll start it off with Marco. If Tottenham are able to get another third center back, a midfielder, and a wing back, and is backed by the board, and Antonio Conte is backed by the board, can you see Antonio Conte and Tottenham Hotspurs challenging for the league title next season?
Yeah. Because you're basically filling the spots that they most likely are missing right now.
I'm gonna say no, because I think you can't make up the ground that Liverpool and Man City have put in between everybody else in one season. Maybe FA Cup, maybe Carabao, but for a league, I don't think so. I think Liverpool and Man City have. I mean, you see it. It's been years for them to get to where they are now to be able to have this gap between them and Chelsea. So yeah, I would have to say the only thing if they get backed, if Conte stays, I think their expectations for next year shouldn't be challenging for the league. Maybe definitely top 4. They have to be confidently in there
Win a trophy,
FA, Carabao, Europa, or not Champions, but wherever they land.
Yeah, I agree with Eric. I don't think being able to buy the players you need means that automatic. I mean, you saw it with us.
Yeah.
It doesn't just because you buy the players that you need to fill in gaps doesn't mean you're automatically going to challenge. It's going to take time for the chemistry to be built.
I wouldn't say United bought the players they need though.
But still, we splashed some money on some signings,
Unnecessary money,
on some pretty good talent, and it didn't get us anywhere. So
Wrong talent, but that's but you know what? Damn, that's an interesting debate.
I think they'll still be
Good
able to do
talent,
it.
but
I
not for
think-
the
I think
system we
they
wanted.
They can definitely fight for it if it's just key players that will fit the system that Conte needs.
So you think
or
that
has, I think they
Spurs
can
can be
able to
better
fight.
than Chelsea?
Yes, I do think so.
I don't know.
I think
think
what
so.
Spurs needs is
I
a
kinda
lot less
find
than
that-
what Chelsea needs, in my opinion, at least.
Need less than what Chelsea need?
Yeah, when it comes to like they need a better system that fits what Conte needs. In the sense of like one maybe a defender and a CDM.
Well, they had the
goalkeepers
front
you
three
want.
pretty solved. They had the front 3 pretty solved. Spurs.
Yeah, that's why I mean, you can
I
always
would
improve, but I mean,
Højbjerg to me is
I wouldn't waste money on let's say top 3 because you can use smart money somewhere else.
the
Center back,
aside from the top 3.
midfield.
I only see maybe like 1 or 2 more like set in stone starters in that team. Other than that, I think everybody else has to go. Chelsea, on the other hand, all they really need is a striker. They have Conor Gallagher, who's their player. They can bring him back. Yeah, no, I mean, Spurs are in a unique situation right now. It's gonna be a good. They have a lot of potential, man.
Look, if they jump Chelsea, it'll be through this transfer window because obviously Chelsea's uncertainties with their
That's the only
players
thing.
and their backline, and Spurs is, are they going to go out into the window and actually spend? And obviously, are they going to spend on the correct profiles, right? So if they do jump Chelsea, it'll be we're going to look back at it now where it's say, all right,
Recruitment.
right, exactly. Chelsea recruited the wrong players or didn't recruit enough players in this transfer window, while Spurs, on the other hand, did, right? So I think, and also they have 2 top managers in Antonio Conte and Thomas Tuchel. And a system where they kind of play similar systems, obviously the 3-5-2, 5, yeah, 5, 5, 2,
Depending how you
3,
look-
yeah,
how you
3,
look
4,
at
3,
3,
yeah.
5, yeah.
3, whatever you want to call it.
It's in an actual football game at all variants or whatnot. But yeah, next season, like I said, if Tottenham do jump Chelsea, it'll be through this transfer window.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's such a big if on both. I mean, the fact that there's a possibility that they can.
It's
jump
possible.
Them, but when it comes to like the transfer window, it's such a toss up because we don't know how much backing Spurs will have, and we won't know what situation Chelsea will be in.
Right.
You're pretty much. It sounds like we're pretty much saying that. Well, look, if we're gonna say Spurs are gonna be challenging for the title next season, or should be challenging for the title next season, that means I'm rounding up right now, but they gotta essentially find 30 points.
And they won't.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'll answer my own question. I think as long as Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp are still in the league, I don't think any other team will win a league apart from those two. And once they leave, maybe once Pep, if he joins the Brazilian
I disagree
team.
with that. I think another team. I don't want to say a team, but a team that gives their manager the same amount of support and time that Pep and Klopp received, I think could get there. But Spurs could get there if Conte is given the time. Even if Pep and Klopp are there for another 3-4 years, if Conte is there for another 3-4 years and he gets the support like Klopp and Pep got, I think he could be actually amongst those managers. Same thing with, at that time, I'm gonna reserve my judgment on that because there's a lot of work that has to get done. But Tuchel, again, if he's there for 3-4 years, I think he could be competing with the Liverpools and cities as long as he gets the support and backing that Pep and Klopp got. They just that's the time is a beautiful thing, and managers don't get it nowadays. So what Klopp and Pep got was something but they also have to have progress shown for them to afford that time, which they did manage to get. But if I would want to see that 3-4 years from now, if Klopp and Pep are still in there, and Conte and Tuchel are still there as well, see if the competition is gonna rise to a different level. I think it would.
I think it would.
personally think it would.
I think it would.
Do you think time is something that clubs need to be able to compete for the league nowadays, or is just signing
No.
the big players or the right players?
No, I look at one example, and that's 2016, 2017, Chelsea winning the league under Antonio Conte. I believe he came in there. Was it that season? I believe it was that season he came in there. I don't know, but either way, if it wasn't that season, it was a season prior, and it's just one season, and he won the league. And although the quality of the league at that time was fucking dog shit, like Man City weren't as good, Liverpool were shit, Tottenham were decent, Arsenal were alright, United were alright, but compare that to you had Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Bayern, right, and on the European stage. But I think on time, I don't know, I feel like all you need is just one window. At least in my opinion. I know with Liverpool, they acquired players among the years, obviously Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, but in one window, in one calendar year, Liverpool were able to acquire Fabinho, Alisson, and Van Dijk, their whole spine, and we're able to challenge, and then we're able to amount a 97-point league campaign and win a Champions League season in that same year.
And yeah, look, recruitment is essential.
But yeah, the overall process and the instilling faith into the fans and into the culture and into the board, and really instilling your system onto these players, and along the way recruiting the right players, that obviously takes a amount of time. But I think one great window is all you need to go from a humongous jump from
a 30-point jump.
No, not a 30-point jump. It won't be a 30-point jump. But honestly, wait, hold on. Let me give me.
Want to look up some stats real quick?
I want to look up Liverpool's 17-18.
When I'll see how much they jumped up from
how
points.
much they jumped up.
Okay, I see.
Hold up. Give me
20
seconds.
While you look that up, because I'm thinking about it, one transfer window can get you maybe challenging. You know what? It depends where you are as a club. Because if you look at Arsenal right now, and I'm gonna talk about that because that's what I know right now, right? But we're not in European competition. We're not in top 4 anymore. If we have one solid window, maybe we challenge for a cup, but we won't challenge the league. That's a good window, assuming we get 3-4 players. I don't think we challenge for a league yet. But did you find the stats?
Yeah, so it was from 17-18 to 18-19. It was a 22-point difference. And obviously that's a 30-point difference that you just said, in which I highly doubt Tottenham are gonna. They can acquiring Fabinho, Alisson, and Van Dijk at a time where Alisson he attracted attention from Chelsea. Van Dijk attracted attention from Chelsea and Man City, and Fabinho from United, and Arsenal. So acquiring those players fucking humongously helped because they were top players in Europe at the time. So
and we know Spurs won't spend the money, that kind of money.
Right.
Unless
we can all play
it's
with
okay.
ifs. I mean, we can all play with ifs.
That's the beautiful thing is.
Yeah, I mean, I can say, well, who guarantees you that Man City will have no injuries next season to be able to accomplish those points that you have now?
But
Who tells me that Liverpool is not going to have that problem they had last season, which had Van Dijk out of the season for the majority of the time. So we're playing with ifs. There's a lot of ifs that can come in and say, you know what, those 30 points can become a lot smaller, and Spurs can actually make it. Doesn't mean that I want that to happen. I'm just saying, if we're playing with ifs, that is a possibility.
and my if to you is, what if these injuries do happen? City and Liverpool have backup. They have depth. Things that Arsenal, Spurs, United don't have.
I mean, we saw at least Liverpool's. There was a struggle with that backup. We saw that they weren't fighting because that one key player was missing.
Correct.
So they can have as much backup as they want, but if one key player is missing, then there's going to be a struggle and to figure shit out. Doesn't mean that I'm right or wrong. I mean, we're playing with ifs, and anything technically can happen.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the game. But we're looking at
If you're basing
odds.
off on
If we're looking at
yeah,
odds.
if you're a betting man to say, hey,
Exactly.
next, I would say that's a dumb bet.
Yeah.
But
I agree with
there's
that.
one person out there that says, you know what? Fuck
never
it. Let
know.
me put $5 on that bet.
You never know.
Because at the end of the day, like transformation in clubs and how well the clubs do, and it's kind of like fucked because like I love talking about transfers and Liverpool. Like obviously I don't play for the team, but Liverpool like are trying to win a Premier League title, or I doubt the players have the quadruple in their mind, but they're trying to win titles, right?
course.
So, and the midway through the season, you're watching your team playing great, and you're still talking about transfers, which kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, like teams improve through transfer windows. Not just one, but teams start winning trophies through transfer windows. So it's not just like if, for example, Klopp turns Trent into one of the best, in my opinion, the best right back in the world. That's not gonna happen in every single position. Like you're not gonna acquire an academy player and turn them into the best center back, goalkeeper, DM, attacker, etc. You know what I mean? So transformations do happen in club windows, and if you look at Liverpool's 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it happened in one window. So you never know. But yeah, on that question, I don't think they will challenge, but yeah, I can definitely agree. On the couple years from now, like you said, if Pep and Klopp maybe do leave, or maybe it's still there. Like I said, I don't think so, but I mean, obviously, ifs and
You never know.
whatnot. So yeah,
You never know, right? So that's the beauty of the game. You never know what could happen. Hopefully, nothing happens for Spurs, but you never know. Brentford continued to impress, a 2-0 victory over West Ham. Ivan Toney, is probably is obviously the star of the team right now. My question to you guys is: one, where should his next move be? And two, would you want a player like him in your club after you see the comments that he makes out off the pitch, trolling his own team? Is that the kind of player that you want in your locker room? Yeah, you're already shaking your head.
No.
But what
If he's gonna act like that, then I don't want you anywhere near me.
but he's producing.
He is, but it's especially coming from the toxicity that we have. We don't need to add to that. I don't care how good you are. Don't bring that into the locker room, and we need to. In our case, we need to fix that. We
Yeah.
don't need to add to it. So no.
Where do you see him going? I mean, I
Honestly,
think he
I have
deserves
no
a move after
idea.
this season. Honestly,
Probably.
where would you see?
I
Where
honestly
would you
wouldn't know.
think he would
I
probably
wouldn't know.
best fit him?
That's a tough question. It's hard to say.
Okay.
What if he becomes your Jamie Tart?
Jamie Tart. Jamie Tart. Any Ted Lasso fans out there?
What if he is Jamie Tart?
But well, so those of you who don't know who Jamie Tart is, Jamie Tart is
Fictitious.
a fictional character on a TV show that is produced by Apple TV. Known as Ted Lasso, where it's an American coach who coaches American football, goes abroad and teaches football that
As a
we
troll.
So
that we-
Jesse Marsh.
Jesse Marsh, exactly. There's a player known as Jamie Tart who is a complete douchebag, but
For a season.
he's a star. As in, he's a model athlete, but he's a dick. He's an asshole.
But second season, he reforms.
What if you what
Again,
Marco? You're
what
saying
ifs.
you're talking about what ifs, right? You said it a few seconds ago. You're saying if
I'm just saying, what
20
if? I did, but I said, what
Well,
if
no,
he is your
where-
Jamie Tart?
I mean,
He could be playing a persona right now. I mean, I don't know him. I don't
answer
know the
your own
guy.
question then.
Would I take him? Why not?
I mean, he does fit our style of play. I wouldn't take him though because he's trolled Arsenal already. So
I mean, who hasn't trolled Arsenal? why not take him still?
Because I want somebody who wants to fight for the club, not somebody who's gonna troll the club.
That's why you have a manager, bro.
Huh?
That's why you have a manager. That's why you need top man management. Get that shit out of him. Get the toxicity out of him.
You can
Make him believe.
How old is he? How
I
old is
think
he?
he's 25.
I think at that point your personalities are kind of set,
He's also playing for fucking Brentford, dude.
and he's
like,
playing for Brentford. So
I-
yeah.
but, like,
not
I would,
to troll
like-
them, but I mean they don't have an academy. You know, they're not like a club like Arsenal, Liverpool, United. You know, but I mean, I wouldn't take him again. You're looking for a set mentality of players that are leaders, and when a player like him shows those off-field antics, you talk about you don't like Neymar because of his
Yeah, I know.
antics.
Well,
You're
let me-
literally
let
looking
me-
at the same thing.
Now that
right
you're
now.
saying all this, let me phrase it. I wouldn't pick him as my first choice, but I would definitely have him my top five. First one doesn't come in, he's there. I'll still take him. He's just not my first choice out of the litter of purchases in the summer upcoming window.
Okay. I like how you digress and change his
Let me-
answer.
let me-
I like
let me
it.
switch it
Once
up
you
a
He thought
I was
about
like,
it.
oh, wait, I'm being contradicting right now because I don't like Neymar's antics. I don't like this guy's antics. Hashtag agenda.
If I'm an Arsenal fan, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'd 100% take him. He has 16 GA in his first season in the Premier League for Brentford.
No, I take back what I'm kidding.
And just looking at the eye test and his overall profile
He
and
fits-
stylistically, he fits
he fits
Arsenal
it.
to a fucking T.
He does. I
Like,
agree
and
with
he's
that.
also the safest option out of the likes of.
Premier League
I think
testing.
it was Dusan Vlahovic. I think he was the guy, but obviously he went to Juve. I think Ivan Toney is that guy now, and he's obviously a much safer option compared to the likes of Alexander Isak, Jonathan David,
Darwin Nunez.
Darwin Nunez.
Who's a
and
big
obviously
one.
those three names, especially Isak and Darwin Nunez, are going to fetch 70 to 80 mil. I don't think Ivan Toney's going to fetch that much. I think he'll go to 40 mil. I can see him. I think there's two clubs. I think it's Arsenal or Man United. I don't think he'll go outside of the league. Spurs obviously don't need a striker if they keep Kane, obviously. If they do lose Kane, I can 100% see him at Tottenham just because
Style of play.
he literally plays like Kane.
Yeah.
City, I think they'll go for one of Kane or Haaland. Liverpool, I think he'd fit Liverpool pretty well, but who knows? But I think Arsenal and Man United are those top two that he could go to. I think he'd fit them to a T. Particularly Arsenal, I think he'd do fucking great.
Well, we were linked with him already just because of the style of play that he has. Again, I just don't like the off-field antics, but trolling your own club specifically, that's what bothers me. But yeah, man. At the end of the day, whoever joins the club, you gotta back him, right? So if he does go, you gotta back him.
You gotta love him or hate him, as long as he gives you the points and does a job.
Nah. Oh, really? So you're in the camp. If a player goes to your club, you have to support him no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about James? Yeah, you think, oh shit, did I say that right now?
I supported him. I just never rated him highly. I never said that I didn't rate him or that he didn't do good.
Well, we know you rated him 6
Yeah,
out of
I rated
5.
6 out of 10. And it was
6.5
poorly,
out of
but
10.
yeah.
That's not
But I
bad.
also
that's not bad. That's
I've been-
above average.
Bro, you have known me.
above average.
I've never liked Cristiano Ronaldo, but I appreciate everything he's done for us. So and you know for a fact that I've always said it, and I've never been quiet about it. So I'll support any player that comes in. Doesn't mean I have to like him. Just means that I see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is he's gonna do something for my team. Long term, short term, he's gonna be doing something for my team. So as long as he does it, fuck it.
James did a lot for Real Madrid too, actually. So yeah, I
He
agree
did
with that.
nothing.
And he honestly, yeah.
know.
He
He did
did.
nothing at all.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
actually,
no, he did.
No,
he
he
did.
did. What are you
He
talking
brought
about?
money in. He brought money in.
Yeah,
all
what?
those shells.
Those
all
Colombian
all those
motherfuckers give you
Colombians
all
were
that
in
money,
We're
bro.
in that Hamas 10, bro.
Bro,
All
without
those-
that, you
He
wouldn't
wore
have half
10?
the players you
he
have
wore
right
10
now.
for 2 seasons, I believe he wore 10, and then he came back and wore 16 afterwards.
I know he scored in El Clásico.
I think he did.
Yeah, to make it 2-2, but Messi made it 3-2.
He did more than he scored.
Mm.
I'm just kidding. Where were we at? Oh yeah, West Ham losing 2-0. Now it seems like they must have put all their eggs in the Europa League not Europa League, the Europa basket because top four are starting to disappear a little bit, especially with Tottenham being in good form.
And they want to secure that.
They want to
It sucks because like they have a tough road ahead of themselves if Barcelona makes it past the Frankfurt the next game.
Yes. And last but not least, the best game of the weekend, the best game of the season. Man City versus Liverpool. 2-2. Nick, I don't think I've ever seen you that stressed out before.
No, it was a pretty.
I
good game.
don't think I ever watched Liverpool games with you before.
Yeah, we watched the one here, Arsenal.
Oh, that's different. You were confident in that one because it's Arsenal. So, but I could see you were nervous with this game, and I could see Eddie was freaking out. Edgar himself said he felt overly confident going into it, and then started to see what could happen. Talk to me about the game.
How much did you like the expressions of his face going from?
Oh no, I missed all that.
Oh, you did.
I got there for the 2-2 and afterwards.
Oh.
So I just saw him stressing out for the last 30 minutes.
How much did you enjoy that?
I mean, it was whatever. Nothing really
How
happened.
much did you want that Morris chance to go in?
Oh, I mean, not for you and Eddie. I feel bad for you guys if it was gone in, but for Edgar, I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
You're like, please go in, please.
I
go
know,
in.
dude. I mean, dude, if that would have gone in, that would have been like, that was
Yeah.
perfect. That was such
Yeah.
a good ass fucking play. The finish would have been beautiful, but nah, I mean, dude, overall, fucking phenomenal game. But Nick, I mean, your emotions, you must have gone from like to lows to highs, lows again, and back to the highs. Overall reaction to the game? Are you happy with the result? What's your expectations going forward now?
Yeah, so I mean, when I saw the lineups, it wouldn't be my lineup, and obviously I'm not close to being Jurgen Klopp. Like I'm not playing fucking Football Manager. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say he should have played this, but I think what I would have. I sound like a fucking man. I hate doing this because
You have your opinions.
It sounds like I should be the manager.
You have
of
your
one of the best
opinions,
football clubs
bro.
in the world, you know?
What have you changed?
I would have changed the front three. So he started Mane, Jota. He
Mhm.
started Jota, Mane, and Salah. My preferred front three
Mm.
would have been Luis Diaz and Roberto Firmino and Mo Salah. The reason why that was my preferred front three was because, and you kind of saw that in the first half, like the ball was not sticking in the final third with Sadio Mane and Diego Jota, particularly with Jota. I mean, I've always said like apart from scoring goals, like his overall play, it's just this game just pissed me off. But he scored a goal, right? Hold on. Before I go on to this, all right, Diogo Jota, right? Phenomenal goal scorer, right? But at one point, do you say his overall play is hindering us too much that his cons outweigh his pros of his goal scoring?
We're kind of digressing back to what we said about Bruno Fernandes, net negative.
Yeah, which I would say Diogo Jota is net negative.
Do you think he's more of a poacher, and in that sense, and because he was more of a poacher, he doesn't fit the style of play that Liverpool are?
But how much is he really hindering if he scored 15 goals just this
Well,
season?
I'm saying he's a poacher. He'll finish, but he won't do what Firmino does and drop back or press.
Yeah.
So my second point to that Diogo Jota point is he is completely fine against 70% of the opposition in the league. But I think when it comes to the likes of Chelsea, Man City, I think he's just absolutely not the guy to play center forward. Back again, he is fine against fucking Brighton, Watford. I mean, he loves scoring against Arsenal. But like what I'm trying to say is like mid to lower table opposition, he's fine. Like I'm perfectly fine with him starting a whole league campaign against those clubs. But I think when it starts like for example, Bayern go through tomorrow, I think versus Bayern, I think I'll 100% right on this that he should not start.
So what kind of player do you think he is?
I think he's just a phenomenal, just poacher, effective player who can just like I said, he's fine against 70% of the opposition, but in those big games where every touch needs to be accounted for, every touch needs to be perfect. And you saw this game where in the second half, and I'll talk about the first half, but for a moment in the second half, Diogo Jota picks up the ball in a phenomenal space. I think you were there. He turns around. Mane's wide open on the left, and he passes it literally straight to Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
And there's countless many other times in this game, but on the first half, like those first 10 minutes, it's a weird game because like I think Liverpool tried to play a more possession game, which they haven't done against Man City in the past couple of years. Obviously, when they beat them in the Champions League, and the league in 1920, it was more just like classic Man City where keep the ball, keep it ticking, and it just cut your team open, right? With Liverpool, it was just transition play, counter attacking, press. It was kind of like the opposite where Liverpool tried to say like, all right, let's take possession and try to approach it a different way. But obviously, Man City didn't have that much. Man City weren't that much affected by it. That's why I think in the second half, you saw Jurgen Klopp make a couple changes tactically, and I think it worked really well. But yeah, I think City created the better chances, and I think if they have if they had Gundogan making like some late runs into the box, or obviously if they sign, obviously if's like going back to if, but yeah, I think City created a better chance in this game, and it's like going back to like the um the team selection. It's a weird one because I mentioned like Liverpool was trying to play more possession in between the lines, quick combinations, especially with obviously Trent, Salah, and Jordan Henderson playing in between the lines. Like, what's the one player you think of playing in between the lines on Liverpool? It's obviously Roberto Firmino. Getting the ball to stick in the final third. It's Luis Diaz out on the left. Now, Sadio Mane, he's actually been playing really well at center forward these past couple
After
of
AFCON,
games.
right?
After like out on the left, he stinks. But at center forward, like I think he's actually pretty decent. I think he's better at the overall play than Diogo Jota. So that's why, like against Bayern or Munich, if they go through or other big games, I think Sadio Mane would be the guy to start at number 9 with Diaz, Mane, and Salah. And yeah, on Mane, I thought he was phenomenal that second half. The first half, I thought he was poor, but that second half, he was chesting down long passes from Alisson. I think he was phenomenal. I'd say he was probably our best player that half, but I think with also like tactically, Liverpool kind of like um they gambled, and it was the correct gamble before the game, because in these past couple of years where Liverpool do beat City, it was through like physical presence in the midfield, right? So Man City kind of like have them with like techie, silky, skinny players, and Liverpool just like boom, boom, boom. Which they do have Fabinho, Jordan Henderson. Even though Henderson's legs, particularly in the midfield, a couple years ago, especially Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson in their peak with legs like nothing, boom, 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 boom. Right, this game, particularly with Fabinho and Henderson, I've been very critical of Henderson, but Fabinho this game, like he had a Hall of Shame performance. Like I think Fabinho plays like yeah, if out of a 10, I'd give him like a 3. I think if he plays at least a 6 or 7, I think Liverpool have a chance to go on to win that game, just because I've always said about Fabinho, and then he gets dribble passed by very easily, and it happened twice during the game. It happened on De Bruyne's first goal, and it happened on another counterattack situation where I think it was the Mara's last chance in the game. He gives the ball away. Thiago gives him the ball. He tries to play a left-sided pass to I think it was Mane. He gives the ball right to Bernardo Silva. He gives it to De Bruyne. De Bruyne dribbles past him, and he plays that fucking crazy laser pass to Mars, and he misses the chance, right? So with Fabinho, he just gets dribbled past by very easily, and he's not the worst on the ball, but he's definitely not the best on the ball, like compared to the likes of deep line playmakers like Jorginho. Jorginho is not that good either way, but like I'm just talking about like on the ball ability, right? Obviously Rodri at Man City, so it's definitely a lot easier to play out of Man City's press. Which by the way, credit to Pep, because he doesn't. You look at Bernardo Silva, and although he's a fucking like he has 3 lungs like fucking N'Golo Kante, Stan Bernardo, obviously with De Bruyne, like they're players who can press. That it's not just like Liverpool and Bayern Munich where you see their midfield. It's just like German, da 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 da. Yeah, Pep Guardiola also has that side to this game where I think once when he did start pressing Liverpool, especially in that first half, just playing out that press wasn't the best at all. And I think City played out Liverpool's press pretty well, because you kind of saw Bernardo Silva coming in to help Rodri kind of advance the ball, in which when Bernardo Silva did come up to pick off the ball, whether it was off Rodri or the center backs, he'd play like a long pass, whether it be to Foden or Cancelo, morely focused on the left side to Foden or Cancelo. They just chest it down and just have multiple like areas to attack from that left-hand side. So yeah, I thought, yeah, just like Pep Pep set his team up the best way he could. I thought he picked the best team selection. I thought his tactics on the day were superb. And they definitely should have won the game. I wouldn't say they created like humongous chances where like
Not clear
clear-cut chances, but I'd say they created better combinations and better patterns and opportunities to create those goals. Liverpool also created chances with Diogo Jota chance in the first half and in the second half, but yeah, it was definitely 2 best teams in the world, at least in my opinion.
You can see it.
And yeah, it's just quality on the pitch.
You could tell that there was a moment where it was just going to be a stalemate. And the credit, the hug that Pep and Klopp give each other at the end is just.
I didn't like that.
It was
didn't
pure
like that?
excitement. I don't know.
No.
I saw more of a pure excitement than anything else.
I appreciate the way I looked at it is more like
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's the way Guardiola celebrated at the end. It's just like it's like damn. Like at least for me, it felt like he knows it's like he got Klopp. Like he knows it's like it's all
It's in
him
his
now.
hands.
It's in his like the way he was dapping Klopp up, the way he was talking to Van Dijk. He just like yeah, I know we drew this game, but I won in the long run. Like I know this. Like in
Okay.
his mind, the league is finished, right?
Maybe that's the Liverpool perspective.
I just the way his mannerism was like, yeah, like I know, I got Klopp here, and this draw doesn't mean shit because
I mean, like that I could definitely see that because that's how close the fucking league is right now. Just I'm just looking at Pep and his the way he's acting in the past, and I don't know. I looked at that embrace at the end between the players and the managers. They're gonna stick for it. Fuck that. Who cares? I think it's pretty cool that they do that.
yeah. For the people calling out like,
Oh, I want to see him fight.
yeah, exactly.
Man,
like, come on, bro. That's 90s shit.
90s
That's
or that. Come on, get past that.
smoking cigarettes in halftime.
Yeah, bro,
like that's like before
that's-
Wenger started. Like even with Wenger, like implemented like stop smoking cigarettes.
Drinking,
Like, but like even still in that era, like it's not that era. Like we're not
It's past
fucking.
that. We're past that.
We're not like
Players-
skinheads fucking going at it each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and if we did have that era still, we wouldn't have these players we have now. They'd be injured. They'd be out already. That's why fucking when what's his name said that he had the fucking screws in his hips. I'm like, you want that for players now? That's stupid. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that whole thing is stupid. But when I saw them embrace, I kind of the way I looked at it was like, all right, these two managers know they're at the top of their game right now, and they know they just put on a show for everybody. Like, yeah, we're the best. That's the way I looked at it. But I could definitely see that point of view where like he's like, yeah, I'm better than you.
I think that's the way I looked at it.
It could
Just
be.
Like,
It
it
could
like
very
I
well
looked at
be.
Pep's mannerisms, like the way he.
Remember the ref?
Right, exactly.
Good job, ref. Good job.
After the game, like he goes to walk into the tunnel, he just gives like Klopp the most like hardest dap like ever, like good shit. But I just feel like there's just like something behind that where it's just like yeah.
I feel like
know
you're
it's
also
completely-
reading too much into it. But also, you are a Liverpool fan. In your eyes, it looks that way. For the rest of the world, it just looks like
And Pep
like
is
what
that
Eric
guy,
said.
bro.
He is
It's
that
just-
He's
kinda
like
guy,
he literally said in press
bro.
conferences like more
don't
than you
know.
believe, more than you believe.
I think it's them giving credit to each other, but I could definitely see what he's saying. Where you're emotional, like you just fucking drew the game that could have taken you out of
break
pole
you a
position.
break. Yeah.
If Liverpool won that game, it's in Liverpool's hands. By City tying that game, he knows the title is his to lose now. And I can see what you're saying. I hope to think that what we're saying is more true than not, but it could be that.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
going back to your question about like Liverpool's aspirations of winning the title, I don't think it's over.
But it's not in your hands though.
It's definitely not in our hands. I think I've said it when I think City would still win it, but does that still count by me saying I don't think it's over, but I still think City won it?
No, because that
No, but
You're
what I'm
playing
saying
it safe,
there's a huge there's a chance that
Yeah,
obviously
of
there's
course,
obviously there's a chance, but I'm not like completely knocking it down. I'm not saying if someone proposes we're winning the league, I wouldn't say no you're deluded.
all
Obviously
City have to do is draw a game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I see people saying, like I said, I think City will still win it, but there's also like there's so many games left. Like 7 games, not that much, but still 7 games, still 7
So-
finals left.
They have
Brighton at home.
Brighton,
Yeah, Brighton,
Watford,
Waf-
Leeds, Newcastle, and West
The
Ham.
only
their
2
next
games
5.
I can see them dropping
And Aston Villa.
points is Wolves away and West Ham away, and then for written and stars, some script writers from the football
Steven
gods,
Gerard.
Aston Villa, at home on the last day of the season. So I don't think it's over. Like I said, I still think City will win it, and they definitely should win it. But the way I look at it, I think Liverpool will win the remaining games. If you compare their fixtures to City's, Liverpool have the humongous downside. Like Liverpool's fixtures is obviously they still have United and Tottenham, and Everton to play at home.
Everton,
Newcastle away, which may be tricky, but I firmly believe,
and Wolves.
and Wolves at home, I firmly believe they'll win the remaining games.
They have, yeah.
I
You gotta
like,
do it. You gotta do your work.
Yeah,
too.
I think so. Like I think we will win those remaining games.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously City they'll probably still win, but
Who do you think has the easier run of games, Man City? Or,
no, it's clearly
definitely
Man City.
it's City.
It's clearly Man City.
I mean, yeah.
looking at
it's
it,
kind of
like,
hard to
but, like,
say that.
yeah.
Yeah. I see
But
what you're saying.
I firmly believe Liverpool will win the remaining games now. And that's not being me being Liverpool. I just have a feeling they'll win. the remaining games. And if that comes back to bite me in the ass, whatever. Like I
you know how
couldn't
much
care
that's on
less.
here that kind of been
I couldn't
back in
care
the
less.
ass.
Could not care less. But yeah, no, it'll be fun. If it does come down to the last day, yeah, that'll be a pretty interesting day.
It's a lot more to happen. That's pretty much all we got for the Premier League action. We definitely went longer than expected today. Quickly, any moment of the week for you guys? Standout moment of the week? Anything that really caught your eyes, caught your attention?
Well, Mars missing the last chance to really.
That was great.
I mean, if he scores that, it's over.
Yeah.
The title's over. Now, he missed he blazed the pen in October of 2018 against Liverpool at Anfield, which it didn't matter either way because City still won the league that season. But who knows? It could be like some reverse universe of 2018, 2019.
Well, it's a game of fine margins, inches, centimeters. It comes down to that. Any moments of the week for you guys?
Really, I think the only thing I can say is, and I said in the chat, is how calm, cool, and collected Ederson was when he almost scored his own goal.
Yo, I would have.
That was pretty crazy.
That by mistake.
I would have tripped, making my way back to go save it. And he was just like, "Oh, this just happened. Okay, let me just kick it out."
Benzema is licking his lips, bro.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he really
licking
is.
his lips, bro.
Jonathan almost got that though. He was like right there. Margo?
I don't know, Man United losing to a struggling Everton.
I'm gonna piggyback off of you, not on the result, but on what happened after the fact, which is the whole Ronaldo situation, man. I'm really curious to see how that's gonna unfold.
I don't think it's gonna go past that.
I don't know, man. I've never seen. The last time I remember seeing a player react towards a fan was Payet kicking the fans. Cantona doing the fucking karate kick. So
to be Hazard with the kicking the ball.
Hazard kicking the kid.
That shit was funny,
I mean in my opinion, that's a lot worse.
No, yeah, he kicked the fucking kid. I mean, he kicked him. So, but I'm curious to see if there's more to. It's a big name. He's a big name for him to react that way. I think there's more to come out. Apparently, there's charges already made. So, we shall see. Other news, just very quickly. I wanted to bring it up mainly because of Nick, because I know he loves his player so much. Lewandowski, rumored to go to Barcelona. Now, Nick, I know you're not a fan of this guy, but when you see Xavi asking to bring this player in, and you see what he's doing to this Barcelona side, improving them, do you think maybe you're missing something that he's probably seeing?
No, I don't think it's a good move at all for Barcelona. It's not because I don't particularly rate Lewandowski that highly. It's because he's 34 years old, and from what I've seen right now, they're proposing a long-term contract, a 3-year long-term contract, which will bring him to 37. And assuming he'll probably be on high wages, maybe not, maybe a little bit less than what he's on at Bayern. And I also saw that I don't know if his contract is out this season, but I think it expires next season. If they do get him this summer, he's gonna have to go for a price tag, and I saw 60 mil. So 60 mil for a 34-year-old on a 3-year contract with maybe similar wages to what he's on at Bayern. I don't think that's a good move at all for Barcelona. Like he's a fantastic player, but looking at business wise, yeah, I don't think it'd be a good move.
You want to see Lewandowski to Barcelona?
I don't.
Do you think he could have like?
He should. He should absolutely go to Barcelona though, to actually like prove himself to the world if he can do it out that terrible league.
You think he could do it?
Him going to Barcelona, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be one of those players like it brings to mind Paulinho.
Wow, I forgot.
It's an old player that came in cheap, that did a lot for the team, and then for one season, and then he was out.
He's not coming in cheap, and he's never one season.
That's the problem. It's a 34, like Nico said, a 34-year-old player that's in my eyes a phenomenal striker. But if he comes with a price tag, I mean, you're following the steps that you shouldn't be following.
You're doing this.
You're doing it again.
They're doing it again.
You're not learning. You should be investing those 40 in your youth and bring in. You already have a striker, Aubameyang. You have
really good. Yeah. Right now.
Why bring another one in that's older? You still have Aubameyang for a couple of years. Invest in your youth, man. Use the money that you're getting from Spotify to build up a better team. Get rid of those old players, and then start building from inside, which I think Xavi can do. Seeing what he's been doing with the team now, I mean, he could definitely do it. It's just that why go for the older ones,
He
man?
wants to.
I mean, maybe he wants leadership because that's the one thing that they might be missing.
He's done the obvious. That's what he literally got in Busquets still.
I mean,
Like, he
that's
still has.
the thing. Is
Busquets.
Those are the players that I think he should start getting rid of. Busquets.
Nah,
The older players.
not
Piqué,
Piqué.
yeah. Busquets, I think he's still a player.
Busquets is still like Barcelona trying to find a replacement for
Which is supposed to
Sergio
be De Jong.
Busquets.
Supposed to be De Jong, but never really.
Like he's gonna be the hardest. Like if I'm looking at a player in La Liga, he will be the hardest player to replace.
Yeah, it's a
like,
CDM.
and which
a proper
actually,
one.
Man City have him in Rodri, but how many other Rodris?
Yeah.
You know,
I
do
mean,
they have
again,
in La Masia?
they're just falling back into their old habits, and I think that's dumb, and they should have learned already. And that money can be used somewhere else. That's basically it. But should Lewandowski go? Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Like Tico said, go prove that you can play somewhere else. And I think La Liga is not that far away from Bundesliga.
Nah, don't compare them, bro.
I know. What do you mean? I 100% feel that La Liga is 100. It's better, but I feel like sometimes because you're going straight to a Barcelona.
Yes, I think what Marco's saying is like, you know how Bayern and Borussia are like the top dogs. Lewandowski is going to like a Bayern right now compared to La Liga.
It's like honestly, if you really want to prove himself, go to another team that's not one of the top three.
Go to Arsenal.
Prove yourself in EPL.
I
don't think we'll be able to do it.
It'd be horrible.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do
He
it.
would not do it. No.
I'd love to see him in the Premier League. Just see him. See Harry Kane dump 20 goals.
And then you know what? What also this tells me that Haaland's not going to Barcelona at all.
And honestly, they shouldn't get Haaland.
Well, Haaland's going to the City. I think that's
they shouldn't go for him either.
Pretty much
I think it's like I feel like it's more likely that he goes there in Real Madrid, but Real Madrid still has like a stake in
I'm reading
a foot in the conversation. But
Mbappe must stay at PSG too.
Yeah, there's bro. That's the thing. That's the thing with it's.
What if
there's what ifs? There's a lot of rumors. There's so much going on that it's hard to keep up. One day one stays, one day the other one leaves. At one point, I feel like rumors gonna start rolling around that Neymar's gonna end up going to Real Madrid.
Well, that was in the past.
That was in the past, and it'll come back, or Messi going back to Barcelona.
You guys saw Messi broke a stat, by the way. The GOAT.
Yeah.
Wrote him off, but he's breaking. He's already breaking records in the league that he's barely even scored.
What was it? Like 3 assists in back-to-back games?
Yeah, I wrote him off already. Yeah, I wrote him off.
Next episode, I want to have a chat about Erling Haaland. So.
Damn, I gotta freshen up my Haaland stats.
All I'm getting out of this.
This has been so shit, by the way.
All I'm getting out of this these last couple minutes. It's gonna be a fun summer.
Yeah, but all these transfer rumors, man. It's a lot to get into. We gotta figure out something we could.
I think the summer we're gonna have to have like drinking games on how many times one player can have different rumors going to different teams.
He's not 21 yet.
He can't play, but he can keep score.
There you go. All right. Well, I think we went long enough today. Yeah, we definitely went long.
It's almost an hour and a half. And I asked at the beginning of the podcast,
are
we going as long as Josh
what time did we start though? It's already fucking late. It's already 10 o'clock.
We started late.
Jeez. All right. I think we'll end it there. I hope you guys enjoy your National Pet Day, your National Submarine Day, your National Barbershop Quartet Day, your National Cheese Fondue Day, and your National 8-track Tape Day.
Tomorrow.
Enjoy
your best
only
day ever.
child day.
Tomorrow.
If you have any other day you want to celebrate, let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a review, a comment. It goes a long way. Subscribe. All that good stuff is in the description down below. We are the Benchwarmers, the bench with the voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.